Thank you for thinking of me to be a part of this occasion. It's a blessing to be here, to be among former players, former coaches, friends, and just people that I know, and also the ones I don't know. It's a blessing. Let me stop you real quick, and I'm gonna try to be brief. My son told me, said, "Daddy, you wrote out a speech?" I said, "Yes, I did, because I thought I was talking to a young fella." And I told Larry, I think, the old people won't hear what I got to say. But I feel it's a joke. But anyway, my wife, for 50 years, September. I learned how to keep a wife that long because it's always, yes ma'am. But she was my college sweetheart. I met her in college, and I told all my guys this. We took a class together, an English class. This teacher was tough. It was 12 students in the class. That was 9 guys and 3 girls. She was almost somebody in the front of the room. Everybody else was in the back. I saw that, I said, I need to pick her. And I stayed behind her until I reeled in. I treat my wife, we was somewhere, and I said, he said, "Where that lady?" I said, "That's my girlfriend." He said, "Your girlfriend?" I said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Yeah, because I treat her like my girlfriend." I said, "As long as I can still bring her little sweets in her own nighttime, open the door for her. Sometimes we go to the movies. You know, and I always talk, we laugh about our first date in college. I tell you, young man, we went on our first date, we went to dinner and a movie. That's big time back then. Big time. We went to McDonald's, we got the put it up, man. And borrowed the car to take out. And I'm proud of my wife, and I can toast well. I didn't understand what was going on. My wife had been shocked, and I've been at home all week trying to prepare for this. And I know she was slipping bags in the room. So she said, "What you gonna wear?" I said, "I'm gonna wear carry your clothes down there, because I'm just going to speak to some young people." She said, "You need to pick out something nice to wear." I knew I had to replace my men ministry. But I looked in her room, I saw not one blue dress, not 2, but 3. I guess she said, "Well, I'm just gonna try them on. You know how you ladies do." And she'll be taking some of them back to work. I'm proud of my wife, and I'm thankful the Lord blessed me with a good wife. My daughter Natalie, I'm proud she'll be here. She's a teacher. I told her a long time ago she went the wrong way. She started off with political science. We told her from a little girl, you need to go into education. Because when she was growing up, Miss Moody was her teacher. We go in her room, we couldn't find no pencils, no paper. She had them all in her room, laying on the floor, had all her dolls in there, she would teach them. Sit down, you got children. But she went the long way around, and I'm glad where she at now. Her husband Josh from South Carolina, and I'm proud of my son. He's a paraprofessional in the Henry County school system. He also a certified high school football official. He one of them guys wear that white hat on Friday night. We went to one of the game, and I told my wife, "Now we better move, but these people be talking." That flag out there. And, but I also told him, "You ever come to Wilkes County, I got to come with him to keep y'all off of it." He also a certified lacrosse official. I was at one lacrosse game, and I stood at the fence, and there was this guy sitting there. He said, "They don't know what they're doing." I said to myself, "Man, you don't know what you're looking at." And I'm real proud of Josh. And my grandbaby Paisley, like I said again, she started off when she was a little baby. With a TOPS program swimming. She's a competitive swimmer. She just completed her first year. She completed 6 swim meets. When you swim the butterfly, the breaststroke, the backstroke, and all. And I was so proud about a couple of weeks ago, went to Columbus in February, my hometown. And I thought when I was growing up, we only had 2 pools. There was a recreation pool and a YMCA. At no time did I ever got in the pool with anybody white. But I was sitting there, I had an opportunity to see my grandbaby swimming in his natatorium, And I had an opportunity to be a timer at that swim meet, to see her compete in her class as a 10-year-old. I think about 88 10-year-old there. She finished 4th out of 88 in her class. And I also look at, it's called Terra Talk in Clayton County. I look at my son Bobby here, and I think about him. Him and Joy live together in Atlanta. They got an apartment. They got a little bachelor pad right now. But I'm telling you now, I hate to break the ice. The young lady sat next to him. They engaged. Bobby, the young man again, we still spend quality time together. We travel together for Christmas, Easter, Super Bowl party, 4th of July. He's a big part of our family. And the reason I know that because my grandmother was living, him and Nally were there over there. We went to visit my grandmother in Columbus. They got to playing with her television. So, and I knew what was going to come. They kept changing channels. My grandmother lived in both of them. They put that television channel down. My son Corey, I'm proud of him. He works for Wells Fargo Bank, downtown Atlanta Station. Doing a great job there. He plays golf. He thinks he's a big time golfer all the time. But he's a pretty good golfer. His wife, Shavunda, she works for Delta in their corporate office. And we're very proud of her. Now, she's a big Alabama fan. So we have our moments right there. And sometimes they play, my wife could be in the room with her. But both of them be cheering, Dogs, Bama. But we're very proud of her too. My grandson Ashton over there, I never forget, he played football, and he played both sides of the ball, defensive back, he was a little running back, little scat back. I was at the game when he scored his first touchdown. I took his jersey, had it framed, got a little plaque on it right there. I was in the stand filming the game, and I called it spread right, jet motion left, 28 sweep. He caught the ball, he went right ahead, his papa was in the stand, running with that. I got a chance to see his first touchdown. I'm very proud of him. He also plays soccer. Where he lived at, soccer's a big thing. He's a good basketball player too. I told Corey, to me, he gonna be another Spud Webb or Mother's Bowl. I took him to a basketball camp, Coach Ellis. I took him over there in the hood. Took him in the hood. Went there for a week. I took him every morning. Dropped him off. Never. They get out there and warm up a little bit. And I saw him out there working on the game, and so the guy pushed him. He bowled back up. That's my grandson. He's a good basketball player. My granddaughter, Tori, she's 12. She's not here. And we got them stacked. We got 10, 11, 12. So my wife and I, we've been ripping around. My granddaughter, Tori, she flew out yesterday to New Jersey. She played big time soccer. She's been going to New Jersey. She'll come back next week playing soccer. She's been to North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida. They're heading to California this summer. So we're very proud of her. She's a good soccer player. We're very proud of her. We were very proud of all our grandchildren, George. Now we spent more time. I told Coach Tom, I came here and said, man, we got a schedule. And Corey didn't make it out for him. He called the other morning and said, hey, what y'all doing Monday? I said, Monday, man, what you got going on? Well, he got to go to soccer camp. So we got to get on that schedule. Let me be real brief. I like to tell guys too, a lot of you guys know this. My mother worked in the school cafeteria all her life. And I learned from my mom, you be nice to those people and treat them like people. So in every school I worked at, I knew all the cafeteria workers. They knew me. And from that, when I got my plate, it was healthy. McCoy, soul rest in peace. When I first got here, she fixed my plate. I come in there, boy, I had good food. When she retired, Linda Farrell, she fixed my plate. I never forget one of my favorite meals with black-eyed peas, catfish strips, chocolate cake and cornbread. And I never forget, Brother used to take that cornbread and slice it in half and put butter in the whole bread. Wrap it up in aluminum foil, put it there. By the time I get in, it'll never be good. I gained weight behind that stuff. But I appreciate her. My grandmother worked in a cotton mill all her life. My grandfather was a man among men. He taught me the value of hard work. What you do to take care of family. How you make things work. And I share with these players, because some of them live with their grandparents. I want them to know grandfather. My grandfather held education, but he wanted me to have one. Everything I did, he was right there. I knew he couldn't see me play basketball, because my grandfather worked in 2 cotton mills. He went to work from 11 to 7 and then 7 to 3. He was all off on Saturdays. That was his day off. And boy, we treat him like, on Saturday, my grandfather like Coach Tommy, he loved to dress. Boy, he had some dressy stuff now. He dress up on Saturday, you think he going somewhere. He go out there and sell on the foot. Sharp. But he also made sure we had everything we needed. I know when I graduated from high school, we had baccalaureate service. And he stood out there, coming around that corner, sharp and attack. Guys, who that man there? I said, boy, that's my granddad. Very proud of him. But he taught me what it takes to be a man, how you take care of your family. And he showed me by example, not just telling me. My grandma used to get mad with him sometimes, Coach Thomas, and be raising sand with him, and he'd be on walked out there and sat on the front porch. She'd still be back in the kitchen. Now, what did you hear me talking to you? And he'd be running down there. And I got that from my granddad. My wife, you know, said to me, I do the same thing. We're going out the other room. But I'm proud of my grandpa. I have 2 sisters. One of them here today, Abigail Crosby. She's a minister. She lives in South Carolina. And when I walked there, I saw her, I thought something was wrong. And I saw my sister sitting in there. And her husband seated next to the side of Truman Crosby. He's a big-time farmer. I told him, man, he know how to raise his own cows and all his sweet potatoes. And we got sweet potatoes all that night, son. So we prepared. I don't know what's going on. We prepared. But we're very proud of him. And his daughter is Tracy over there with her husband, Eddie. She's an AKA. He's a alpha. He's an alpha, so we'll leave it like that. But we're very proud of him. Now, let me run through. The 2 guys you saw, my nephew, both former coaches. And a lot of them home, when I retired, my coach told me I went over there and worked with them guys. What did I do that for? I've been coaching all my life. Now, one of them was the head coach, the other guy was the defense coordinator. So I'm working up under them guys. And so they telling me what to do. You can't talk to them like that over here. Now, man, I'm gonna coach now. And I appreciate my nephew and allowed the opportunity to work with for a while. I have my brother Andre, he deceased. He died some years ago from lung cancer. I was there with him all the while. He was the youngest of all of us. And when he was young, he was footloose and fast and free. You couldn't tell him that, he knew everything. But we're very proud of him. Well, the main thing about him, when he was growing up, he got out of hand a little bit. So my mom sent him to Dallas to stay with me. And I tried to get him on the right track. He was behind in school. He went back to Columbus the next year. And I'll never forget, he called me and he said, I'm going to summer school this summer. And I'll finish on time. And we're very proud of him. And I'll never forget that night he graduated, he came right to me. He said, brother, I appreciate you staying on top of me. Because with that education, he was able to get him a good job. And we're very proud of him. My oldest brother, Douglas, they called him Pooh. In the hood, everybody got a nickname. I think some of these guys ran to Coach Brooks one time, some coaches, they knew me, and they would call me on my street name, and Coach Ellis got one of my street names too. He walked around, I said, man, you mess about my neighborhood. My grandmother called me Rusty. Rusty, where you get that from? You know somebody talk to me, man. But my brother named Plum. He was the oldest. I never forget, he got put out of school in 10th grade. two guys, two brothers want to jump on him about a girl. And he beat them pretty bad. And back then, there was no alternative school. There was only two black schools in Columbus, Carver and Spencer. No choice, you go across the river to South Carolina or whatever. So he didn't go back to school, but he made sure that I stayed in school. He always told me, the stuff I did, you ain't gonna do it. And as a teenager growing up, I wanted to hang on the street corner with some of my buddies. I never forget it. He'd run me home. They used to laugh at me. He'd throw rocks at me. Get you off the street, man, go home. But he would want me to make something out of myself. I appreciate that. Some of you around here, some of the guys, your relatives may know my brother, because he came to visit me a couple of times here. And hung out down there to the pool room down there, shooting pool. But then I never forget, later on he moved to South Carolina with my sister. They came here for a region championship game during Thanksgiving weekend. And he came with him. And I said, boy, I know him. He got antsy. He didn't want to sit around the house. I'm ready to get ready for a big game. Been watching film, nervous already. He gonna go off walking. But living in Baltimore at the time, he walked way over here across town. 10 o'clock came, 11 o'clock came, 12 o'clock came, 1 o'clock came, 2 o'clock came. He went there. Later on, I get a phone call. Ring. Well, who is that? This is Police Chief Ellis. Jealous. Police station. I said, what? Yeah, Coach, we got your brother down here. I said, what? He said, Coach, he ain't done nothing. We just went to our police car to make our round. He was sitting in the back seat. Oh, I was hot. All right, so don't mess with no, I was hot. I got a big game, so I get up, I go down there to pick him up. He down there, man, what's wrong with you? He about 2 shades in the wind. But I got him back to the house, we laugh about it now. I was mad that night. Not because he wouldn't embarrass me, because I know we got folks, my folks like everybody else folks. So I ain't doing that. But he kept me straight and helped me to be the person I am today. And I thank for my brother, Plunk. And like I said again, some of you relatives around here know it. I know Larry Campbell, brother Bobby know it, but they hung out together, so. But my dad, I'm gonna leave him last. I guess you're supposed to say, he got a daddy. Let me talk about him. You can't talk about it. My dad was a great role model. He did everything wrong. Everything. He abused my mom. We left out when we were little. Had to move in with my grandparents. They took us in and took care of us. Never gave anything for us. Never saw me play basketball or nothing. He didn't live too far from my high school that I was going to. Never asked me, when you gonna graduate? What's wrong with your life? Never. God never bought any school clothes. My grandfather, my grandmother. Never bought anything for Christmas. My grandmother, my grandfather, my mom. They took care of it. I never forget it. When he died, this sister called me. I was living in Valdosta. She said, your dad died. I said, okay. I did. I said, I'll be there tomorrow. And we came. I'll never get there. Had a blue suit, light blue shirt with a matching tie. You know, we went to the house he lived with, the lady he was living with. Younger than him. So there were no clothes to be buried in. Took my suit, buried me. His sister said, what you gonna wear? I said, I'm gonna wear a shirt and pair of pants. I'm gonna be there. I cried at his funeral because I said, this man didn't do what a good man should be doing about his family. He showed me how you can destroy a family. Destroy a family. I made myself a promise. I ever get married, I'm gonna be there for my kids. I'm gonna love my wife through thick and thin. Love nothing. So he set a good example for me to follow. I got some of my guys the other day know all about the story because I like to tell my kids where I came from. We moved here and lived on Butler Street for a while. Miss Canberra Chapel, our neighbor, she kept us straight. Everybody knows that she's a good neighbor. Then we moved to Baltimore. Very nice, friendly people when we moved over there. Everybody knew everybody. They knew your children. They knew what you was all about. We had some great times at Jackson Chapel LB Church. Had some great times at Mount Carmel Baptist Church. Sunday school, outing, vacation Bible school, good friends, good people. You know, I tell people all the time, I say, well, that's where you from? I'm from Columbus, Georgia, but I spent a lot of time. We spent 32 years right there paying taxes here in Wilkes County. So I'll say that. My neighbor Larry Campbell, we got to know each other real good friend, and we're still friends today. Larry retired from the military, got out of the military, went back to Fort Benning, thought he was still in the military. I took him back one time to show him where I came from. See, a lot of people don't know your story. We rode all over Columbus. I showed him a shotgun house we lived in. I showed him the barber shop where I shined shoes at. And when you turn the corner, there was a funeral home. Next to the funeral home was the pool room. Next to the pool room was a liquor store. Next to the liquor store was a juke joint. Across the street was another juke joint. Up the street was a little cafe. So I wanted to see Larry, this is where I came from. See, a lot of people don't know that. So I wanted to, he had the nerve to take him out on Fort Benning out on base, and I did. Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have. He got there and saw all that military stuff. He started having flashbacks. He saw all those PT training stuff they do. He saw something we call monkey bars. How you go from one to the next. He got out and said, man, I used to do that. I said, Larry, don't get up there. And I told my wife, I'm going to tell you, he grabbed one of them bars, and he swung to the next one, and he reached for the next one, boom! He was so ashamed, he jumped back up, back up again. I said, Larry, don't get back up there, he grabbed the first bar and reached for the second, boom! You know, he told me, that's all for the day, man. We had some great parents here at Wilkes County. Great parents, great aunts, great uncles, great cousins. And I'm thankful we have some of the best student athletes in the state of Georgia. Best. I don't know how it was in Lincoln, but I know in Valdosta area down there, and I ain't gonna, we were in Lowndes County, there was a school system you could pass with a 65. 65. Pass. We got to Washington, it was 7% of that. If you didn't make 7% of that, you do. But I'm thankful our student athletes, they stood up to the plate. And they did what they had to do to be able to play. I'm proud of both our male and female athletes. I'm proud of them. I remember Coach Brooks telling Dr. Dorman when we got to stay, he said, Doctor, if they stay in this program, they're going to behave in this community and in this county. I used to think sometimes, I ride all the way around this place sometimes, because I know on Friday night, after the game, I'm doing trouble. I'm riding quite hard. I go up down these kids where the truth jumps at, and I better not see it. But I want to thank the student athlete here because they passed their classes and they did a great job. They took pride in their grades. They took pride in graduating from high school. And that's something we took pride in, that our student athlete was finished. We just didn't want you to play ball and you didn't graduate. That was top priority. How I get here? By my prayers. You know, I pray for everything I want to do. I tell young people now, pray. Ask God for what you want to do. I said, what you want to do in life? I said, I want to be a high school football coach. I want to be a high school basketball coach. And see, in Valdosta, I was doing all that on the middle school level. Basketball, defense coordinator, football, and head boys, 8th grade basketball. But things I want to do, Coach Brooks presented to me right here in Wilkes County. And at the time, my wife was expecting with my daughter. Nella getting ready to be born. We had bought a house. Then we talked about moving to Washington. And on top of that, I didn't know anybody in Wilkes County. Didn't know a soul. I never forget we used to come up here and visit. Some of y'all would sleep at night. Coach Brooks would bring me up here. I'd ride around and we'd look around. I said, man, I got to sell it to my wife. Coming to Wilkes County. But we telling Carter about it. He heard her talk about, he heard about Washington. He went to his pre-K school and told the people, we getting ready to move to Washington. And the lady asked us one day, are y'all going to Washington, D.C.? So I straightened that out. But only thing I heard about Washington, Georgia, when I was in college, I met a guy named Johnny Hill. And Johnny didn't talk a whole lot about Washington, Georgia. We knew he from Washington. He talked about the Washington Tiger Marching Band. And after he and Johnny played, he wasn't telling no lie about the band. That was a great band. Johnny and I, we remained friends up until he died. Johnny would call me, and bless his heart, I was riding over to South Carolina one day. I pulled out on my street, Buster Avenue. Johnny talked me from Buster Avenue to Bamberg, South Carolina. And he told me, honey, don't you hang the phone, brother. I thought we'd get cut off going through all them woods and all that. I pulled in the phone, he stole the phone. He said, now you can hang up. But Johnny was the best friend of mine. As I stated earlier, Coach Brooks presented me with the opportunity to come here, but there were key people who made the difference for me and my family to come to Washington. Like I said, again, we didn't know anybody. If I may pause here, let me just tell you, those key people were very, very good to me. Always think about it. I mean, coming to Washington, and Coach Brooks presented an opportunity. I got scared, but then I thought about ask, and she can give it to you.
That's right.
See, you survive. A man in my church at St. Paul AME Church in Valdosta, Georgia, when he heard about we were going to come to Washington, he said, young man, let me tell you, he said, the same God in Valdosta, he in Washington. Now, we have a lot of permanent black leaders over our years in the black history, like Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Frederick Douglass, Thurgood Marshall, Malcolm X, Nelson Mandela, John Lewis, Harry Tubman. But we have some key people here by me coming to Washington. When Coach Brooks gave us an opportunity. People like Mr. Charles Reed, Mr. Ed Cannell, Reverend G.L. Avery, Mr. Wiles Anderson, Reverend Smokey Turner. Let me tell you my story. See, you didn't know this. I talked to those people before I made the science factory come to Wilkes County. Not Coach Brooks, but those people. They sold me on the idea of Washington. And this is the place I need to be. And I'm very thankful for that. We remained friends up until their passing. Matter of fact, when I decided to leave Washington to go to Thompson, I talked to Miss Vanetta. When I decided to turn that job down at Washington Wilkes, I talked to those people. And I told them the inside scoop, what was going on. And let me tell you something, young people. I made up my mind. You're not going to tell me how to do things. I came to Coach Brooks, and I saw how Dr. Dormady presented the job to him. Run it like you need to run it. Hire who you need to hire. Let go who you need to let go. But it was presented to me up in another administration. You need to fire this guy, that guy, that guy. I wasn't going to do that. I learned a long time ago. I'm not going to be your puppet. I'll go with that. So I'm thankful for those men there. And I never forget, even though I didn't coach, Coach Thurman was Smokey's son, Davis, but he always been a good friend of mine, people I could talk to and lean on in times. And I'm thankful for that. They were my mentor all up till they passed away. Many of our players, all the players here today, are active people, action people. See, you can talk a lot of talk, huh? But your actions speak louder. What you do. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It just threw me over, you know. And like I said, I come down here often. I get a haircut down here. Huh? I go to I was 2 weeks ago, went to the dentist right down on the square. Yeah, I still go to the dentist down here. I just go to Wilkes Eye Center till he just booked up and left on me. But guess what? I found the doctor that was working with me down here in Athens, so I go to Athens. Still got him. I go to Augusta to my cardiologist, my primary care doctor. So I'm still around. I get a haircut, like I said again, and really now, my barber, where is he at? Man, I got a haircut when I lived there, Coach Thomas. I got a haircut. I got to tell the guy gave me the mirrors. So what you think? I looked out, who it is? He had combed my hair up in the air. Some kind of ball right in here. He trying to hide that. I told my wife I look like Don King. So, and I didn't go back no more. I guess he probably looking for me. But I come down and get a haircut from the barber here. He's one of my former players. He does some work in my home. He like a son. Oh my God! So I like to get on and talk to him just like that. And I love him. I got one of my sons here. He'll call me, and my wife, who you talking to? I'm talking to Keely. I'm going to bed. I know you're gonna be talking. Yeah, but we talk, and I appreciate that. I appreciate him checking on me. Had a guy call me this morning at the Club Blue Sky. We talk sometime. I get a phone room. What's up, Coach Man? What is it? It's Bam. I said, what? And I was saying to myself, my wife is back on. We talked a long time. And let me tell you what Bam told me. I'm gonna share with you. He said, Coach, I appreciate all you've done for me. He said, you're the reason I went on and stayed in and got that college degree. See, a lot of times people count you out, but God counts you in. And I tell young people now, I might not have been cum laude in high school, not Victoria, top of the class, but if I get a break in life that God opened up the door for me, He gonna make sure He gonna see me through it. And I never forget about he went to school and the wife, mama just told me today. What you told me? He remember this day. I said, son, he went to Albany State, gone around. I said, don't you leave there without it. I said, how long? I don't care how long. Don't leave without it. And he told his mama, said, go, we told him leave it, I get it. And sure enough, he got that degree. Guess what? Coach, we were right there. And I was proud to see him become the young man he is. I always think again, these guys here now, a lot of these guys were the first somebody in their family to go to college. I look at some of them now, first one went to college, first one finished high school in their family. And I use the word, some of them just kicked the door down in the family. And when they kick the door down, others start falling behind, being successful. That's what it's all about. And I'm proud of you guys. And if we take a tour bus and ride over Wilkes County, we can go all around and you can find somebody great come out of these communities. Great people doing great things. They may not be living this time. They may not be living this time, but they somewhere doing great things representing this county. And I always think about Coach Brooks. We talked all the way up to he passed away. Heck, come on, black guy with a white guy. Huh? Black guy with a white guy. And let me tell you something. And I tell young people, get your game together. People want the best with them. They don't want no junk. They don't want no junk. You're not going to go in life dragging nobody behind. And I'm very thankful, like I told my wife, we came with all our credentials. We both had master's degrees. So when he brought us there, we came to make a difference. I'll piggyback on what Suggs said. Brother Lee, I never forget him. I took the basketball team to Springfield. He told me these words here. He said, Coach, keep shooting out there till I shoot spelling on it. You're going to hit somebody. You're going to hit somebody. But what he said, keep bringing it. Something's going to stick. Always be no contact, no impact. You got to be involved in it. You know, I think about the guys that left here and went off to school. Some went to college, some played college ball, some went to the military, some of them got a good job, paying career, some of them their own boss. They get up when they get ready, they call the shots. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them. And when I see you guys, man, I look at, yes, I love championship. That stuff temporary. But impact. You are my champions. Every one of you. Every one of you represent a championship to me. Championship. And I'm very proud of you. And I know your parents are proud of you. I know all my guys' parents. I know they live. I go by their house and knock on the door. I know they live with, whether they live with their grandmother, grandfather, or what. I want to make it my business to do that because I want to have a relationship with them. And that's important in doing that. And I'm also concerned about what they're doing now, how they go about life. I always think about Coach Brooks. When he offered me the opportunity, I think about what he said. He always talk about this. Coach, did we make a difference? Did we make a difference? I said, Coach, we did. I said, you ought to hear the guys talking about you. See, when people talk about you, some been saying, well, be negative or positive. They talking about you. Huh? But most of them, when you made an impact on their life, it's positive talk. Positive talk. And I told him before he died, I said, Coach, we made a difference. I said, when I asked for the opportunity to coach where I'm at now, I didn't ask the Lord and say, Lord, I want to go to Brooks County. I want to win some state championship. He gave me everything I asked for. And sometimes you think about that. He said, I didn't send you there for those state championships. I sent you there, like Coach Ellis said, to make a difference, to make an impact on life. That's important. That's important. I tell my nephews over there in South Carolina, and I coach with them. I said, make an impact. Make a lasting impact. When you look back and see that, that makes you smile. I ran into one of my guys in Thompson. He was down at the mall. He had 3 little kids with him, and a young lady. He said, Coach William. I said, what? He said, come here. I want to introduce you to my family. Young guy. A family. But I said, boy, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm thankful for you. Coach Barnett accepted me to come over there and coach. We had some great time. I look at Coach right there. I told him to slim down a little bit, but we had some great time coaching over there. One of my buddies, one of my former players right there. Raise your hand up there, Thompson. He played defensive back for me. He played 9th grade basketball for me. Sometimes he probably jump up and go, I got to coach me. I got it. But he came out to be a great player. He's an AD at Thompson High School. Come out of our program. So I'm very proud. Always think about, you ask yourself, you know, it don't cost nothing to dream. I tell them all the time, you can dream all you want to. But to fulfill them dreams, it takes commitment, hard work, and dedication to do the things you want to do in life. And a lot of them are doing that. They're doing positive things in life. And I told my wife, you know, I won't say a whole lot, but you know, I got here, let me tell you, I'm prepared to talk to young people. Because I'm going to walk around and say, hey, you do all that. But the Lord said, hey, talk to them. And I'm like, I like to share some with you. I always tell young people, some things they need to think about. They need to look at where they're at in life, what they want to do in life, and how they're going to get there. They don't think about it. That's very important. Where you at in life, where you want to go in life. Also tell them, you make sure your friends' values line up with your values. I look at these guys here today. Your friends' values. They trying to go the same way you're trying to go. It's easy to get off on the wrong road. And I'm talking from experience because I know I had to separate myself from some people to get one going in the day. In closing, I like to say this quote Kamala Harris put out, and everybody knows who Kamala Harris is, right? The reason I said it because my grandbaby, she came out of church when she was on tour running for president. My grandbaby met a person that ran a campaign. So my grandbaby thought she had close ties to Kamala Harris. So when she came to our church, they were all up there, hey, come there, hey. But she was very instrumental with it. And I'm proud of the things that she's done, swimming and everything else. But now they had an opportunity to work with the young lady that ran the campaign for her. So we're proud of now that being involved in that, and she was instrumental to get into our church at the time. But Kamala Harris quoted this, and I'm going to close with this. She said, in America, no matter where you start in life, there should be no limit as to what you can achieve. That's very important. Pass that on to our young people. I thank you, I love you, and thank y'all. Y'all got me today. I used to down in Valdosta, they gave them coaches brand new cars. So we got to Washington, we got parts of a car.